Hello you beautiful people, it's Liquid here giving you a warm welcome back to the channel. As always, I hope you're doing awesome and fantastic. Now for today's video I'm going to be taking you through a cold start tutorial for the FA-18C in DCS. So without further ado, let's jump into the cockpit. So here we are in the cockpit of the Hornet then, and let's go through the cold start procedure. The first thing we're going to do is press left control and C to close the canopy. That's going to keep things nice and quiet whilst we go through the procedure. Then you're going to head down to this right hand panel here. You're going to see the battery switch, and all you're going to do is right click on that. Once we have power to the aircraft, we're going to head over here to this APU section, and we're going to right click on this switch here. That's going to fire up the APU and allow us to start the engines. Once we have the green ready light, we're going to right click on the engine crank switch. There we go, right click on that. Now to move this right throttle from its cutoff position, we're going to press right shift and home. And you're going to see the temperature is going to start to rise, the RPM will rise, and that engine will fire into life. Once that engine crank switch centers itself automatically, we can go ahead and start the left engine. There we go, back in the middle. We're going to left click on that switch now.
Roll left.
And to move the left hand throttle from its cut-off position to the idle position, you're going to press right alt and home. There we go. Now whilst the left engine is powering up, we're going to go ahead and reset the master caution here, and we're going to turn on our MFDs by right clicking. Going to rotate this knob here, which is going to turn on the power to our HUD. And the same again down here for the third MFD screen. We're also going to just do a little movement of the scroll wheel on the standby attitude indicator. That's going to uncage that. Now if we head back down to the right hand panel, you'll see the INS switch here. We're going to rotate this switch by right clicking and set it to GND for ground. If you are taking off on an aircraft carrier, you're going to switch this INS switch to CV, but we're not on a carrier, we're on the ground, so we're going to go ahead and rotate that. Now if I move my stick out of the way, we're going to left click STD HDG on this MFD, which is stored heading. Now whilst that's happening, we're going to right click on the flap switch, put them up to auto, and we're going to press the FCS reset button. We're then going to go over here to our second MFD. We're going to left click on the FCS MC page, and we're going to press Y on the keyboard and left click this button here on the FCS page at the same time. That is going to perform the aircraft's automatic check of its flight control system. Or surfaces rather. You see that is switched to in test. Make sure you press Y and left click at the same time. And if we have a quick look, you'll see the flight control surfaces moving around on their own. Those beeps let us know that the self check is complete. We can go ahead and set our flaps back to half. And if you go to this little button here, if you press and hold it, that's going to set our takeoff trim. Whilst we're over here, we can right click on the OBOG switch. That's going to turn on our onboard oxygen system and make sure this knob is in the on position. If we head back round here, you should see that our INS is okay. That means the alignment is complete and we can go ahead and move the INS switch to IFA. We can then turn on our radar warning receiver down here, the ALR67, and right click on our dispenser bypass to turn on the switch for our countermeasures. Turn on the taxi light, release the parking brake. Now don't forget before you take off to arm the ejection handle. I normally do this just before I roll onto the runway. A click, and should you need to eject from the aircraft you can. And that is it. Your Hornet is fired up and ready for flight. A relatively simple and quick cold start procedure. It really doesn't take long. You can then go ahead and set up your various other systems and prepare it for flight. But that's all you need to get into the air and get flying with your friends. And it is quicker than the auto start procedure. So there you go. I hope you found that useful. It's a big thanks to you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. But until then, this is LIKWID signing off.